Renée Zellweger destroys Harry's demand to be addressed as Prince. On the Graham Norton Show, Renée Zellweger did not hold back. The moment Prince Harry allegedly insisted on being introduced as Prince on the Graham Norton Show, Zellweger's expression reportedly shifted from amused to outright unimpressed. And in front of the entire production crew, she let her thoughts be known. "Are you serious?" Zellweger reportedly asked, her voice dripping with disbelief. "After everything you and Meghan have said about stepping away from the royal life, you've spent years telling the world that titles don't define you, that you're just Harry. And now suddenly you want to be treated like a prince. You want the perks without the responsibility. You can't have it both ways." The room fell silent. Tension thickened the air as even Graham Norton himself, known for his quick wit and effortless humour, hesitated. Prince Harry, caught off guard, was said to have stiffened. A few seconds passed before he responded, his voice firm but laced with frustration. "Renée, I don't think you understand," he shot back, his expression darkening. "This isn't about demanding royal treatment. It's about respect. No matter what, I was born a prince. That's my identity, my past, and my bloodline. Just because I stepped back from royal duties doesn't mean I should be stripped of who I am. If people want to acknowledge that, what's the harm?" But Zellweger wasn't having it. Her expression reportedly remained cold, unimpressed. The irony was too blatant for her to ignore. A man who had given interviews, written books, and made documentaries about breaking free from the constraints of the royal family. Yet here he was, clinging to the very title he once claimed was suffocating him. Sources on set claim the tension was palpable. Crew members exchanged glances. Other guests, initially caught off guard, watched as the moment unfolded, some suppressing awkward smiles, others visibly uncomfortable. It was clear that what was supposed to be just another light-hearted talk show had turned into an unexpected moment of reckoning for the Duke of Sussex. But this was not just about one awkward demand on a talk show. It was a reflection of a bigger issue, one that has been following Harry and Meghan ever since they left the royal family. The contradiction between their words and actions was becoming harder to ignore. They had told the world they wanted privacy, yet they constantly sought media attention. They had distanced themselves from the monarchy, yet still used their royal connections when it suited them. Hollywood had once embraced them. At first, celebrities welcomed the Sussexes with open arms, praising their bravery, their decision to speak out, their willingness to break free. But slowly, quietly, the tide had begun to turn. The whispers had started, the skepticism had grown, and now, it seemed, even Hollywood's elite were seeing through the act. Zellweger, a veteran in an industry that values authenticity, had reportedly just vocalized what many were already thinking. Prince Harry, however, was not entirely alone in this. His supporters argue that he has every right to be acknowledged for who he is. Despite his decision to step back from royal duties, he was still born into the royal family. His history, his lineage, his struggles. These are things that cannot be erased. But even those who sympathize with him admit that moments like these do not help his public image. If anything, they reinforce the idea that Harry and Meghan want the best of both worlds. They reject royal obligations, but expect royal recognition. They denounce the British media, but invite Netflix cameras into their home. They claim to seek independence, but continue to reference the very institution they walked away from. As for Graham Norton, he reportedly remained professional, but may have found Harry's request excessive. The Graham Norton Show does not introduce guests by their royal titles. Celebrities and public figures are recognized for their work, their careers, their accomplishments, not their aristocratic background. And Harry, despite his past, was now supposed to be a man forging his own identity beyond the palace walls. In the end, the show continued as planned, but the moment had left its mark. Zellweger had not backed down, and Harry, for all his frustration, had been unable to fully counter the argument she had thrown his way. The tension, while subtle, lingered in the air. And perhaps, for the first time in a long while, The Duke of Sussex was forced to realise that Hollywood was not Buckingham Palace. Here, people were not obligated to bow. Here, respect was not granted, by birthright but earned. And here, even a prince could be called out if his actions did not match his words.